Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
Good morning, man. We got a doozy for you. This one's a big one. We definitely appreciate you guys. First and foremost, want to say thank you so much for rocking with us again on another episode of Talk That Tech. We got Operation Tech Takeover in the building already, saying peace and blessings, family. We appreciate you for rocking with us, man. We
What's
appreciate
good?
you
What's good?
for show. Yeah, man, we appreciate that. Just to let you know, this is a call-in show as well, especially for those that are impacted by one of the stories that we're talking about. But you can call about everything that ties to the show. Any topic that we have, reminder must be 18 years or older to call. But yeah, this one is a real one here. So if you guys are definitely have experienced what we're gonna be talking about, please let us know. I'm not even gonna delay it too much. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit off with one subtopic, quick topic before we get into it, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Trey real quick, really quickly. But quick story. We got
Yeah.
Musk. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, yeah. Go ahead.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we got Musk, this Musk story here. Musk power move. He paid to play the SpaceX IPO game. Elon Musk is leveraging basically a massive hype around the potential of SpaceX IPO, valued at over $2 trillion. Wow, to exert unusual influence over Wall Street. Major banks like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are competing for roles in the deal with huge fees at stake. So Musk is reportedly requiring firms involved in the IPO to purchase subscriptions to Grok, his AI chatbot, interesting, effectively tying deal participation to boosting his AI business. The strategy could artificially strengthen Grok's enterprise revenue ahead of uh, investor scrutiny, despite it trailing competitors like ChatGPT. Meanwhile, discussions about loosening typical IPO restrictions like the 180-day lockup period are raising concerns around market observers. Overall, the situation highlights how Musk is using his leverage to shape both financial and AI markets at the same time. Very interesting. Very interesting. That's a topic we might be following up on in the future dates for sure, but wanted to throw that out there so you guys are aware of that, because that is a very interesting situation, especially with this AI race, how he is
Big
leveraging
money.
that SpaceX IPO, again, valued at almost $2 trillion, over 2 trillion, I should say,
Big
to
money.
get banks to people to invest in this technology. What are your thoughts on that trade?
Bro, it's just crazy, man. Some of these numbers, like you just don't see every day, and that's one of them. And then you think about, like, okay, one day I might be able to own a piece of that, just a little sliver, and see where it goes. Now, I'm not privy to be in the first, in those first rounds and stuff like that. But when they IPO and when they get on the market, you wait a little bit, you find a spot, and then you get in. So just to think that, hey, it might be happening for you. I just read a book last week. It was called To Pixar and Beyond. One of the executives wrote it that used to be an executive at Pixar Studios, and he was just telling his story. But he was talking about that was the main goal. Like, um, when Steve Jobs got Pixar, he poured in all this money. It was like $50 million of his own money to keep it afloat, and the whole goal was to IPO. And so that was his job. The guy, Lawrence Levy, that was his job. And so it was just crazy to see the storyline on how they got it there. And then eventually, Toy Story did numbers and they IPO, but this is just on the other side of it. It's still technology, but it's just bigger numbers. So I can't wait to hear the story about all this stuff, but also can't wait to try and get in. At some point, give me a little sliver.
Yo, and that's exactly why we letting you guys know now. Listen, look into it, check it out for yourself. But also it's a story that we might most likely come back to very, very soon for sure. Now,
Yeah.
listen, this next topic is the meat and potatoes of our conversation. It is one that I was like, you know what, I want to make sure that people know they could call in about this, because this one affected so many people, and I'm talking about none other than the situation with Oracle. I'm not gonna steal Trey's thunder. He's gonna talk more about it, but yeah, this was a situation here. So definitely want to hear your thoughts, Trey. I'm gonna pass it over to you to talk about it more.
Yeah, man. You got 6 a.m. Eastern, man. 6 a.m. Eastern is that's like right. That's not right now for you.
Yeah,
That's
almost
that
an
was an
hour
hour
ago.
ago. It was an hour
Yeah.
ago. Okay, so for me it's 6 a.m. Y'all, I don't know where you are, but imagine an email hitting your inbox at 6 a.m. Eastern time, whatever time that is for you. That's what happened on March 31st. Thousands of Oracle employees around the world, because Oracle is huge, woke up to the same thing, the same email. Okay. And it was the email that ended thousands of careers. So by the time they finished reading it, their careers at one of the largest tech companies in the world was over, right? They didn't get a HR call. They didn't get a meeting with the manager, no warning. The message was simply Oracle leadership, no individual names. Hey man, you're not even a name here. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna go there. But
Hmm.
yeah, it told the employees that their roles had been eliminated. The final day was today, and then severance details would be sent through DocuSign. I've been there. Um, and so access to company systems was cut almost immediately. Y'all know how they do. They, as soon as you find out you out of there, hey, you try to go straight to the other inbox. It's already out. You can't even get in. And that's exactly what they did there. So within minutes, screenshots started circulating Reddit and Blind. I haven't even heard of Blind. I need to figure what is that about. And so the scale of this is what makes it stand out. So analysts believe that this could be one of the largest layoffs in Oracle history. It's estimated, suggesting between 20 and 30,000 employees impacted. So now you see why it wasn't even personalized. Like, I mean, they got everybody's name and they still couldn't put it in there. They could have, they just decided not to. But 20 to 30,000 employees impacted. That's roughly 18% of the company's global workforce. The hardest hit areas included revenue and health sciences, SaaS operations, and NetSuite's India Development Center. So some of those teams reportedly lost about 30% of their staff. Okay. Now, here's one of the parts that kind of flips the story as well. Oracle is not struggling. Like let's get it straight. They not on
Mm-hmm.
the struggle bus. Okay. The company posted a 95% jump in net income, net, not gross, because gross is gross. So net income, 95% jump in the last quarter, reaching over $6 billion. Is still remaining performance obligations, essentially future contracted revenue, hit 523 billion, which is up more than 400% year over year. So they got contracts going into the years, still up. Okay. So the company is not a company that's cutting costs because it's in trouble. That's where I'm getting at. All right. The company is making a decision, and the decision is about where the future is going. And so for them, Oracle is making a huge capital intensive bet on AI infrastructure. I'm sure y'all knew that was coming. Data centers, compute power, long-term AI contracts with companies like OpenAI and Meta. That's where they see it going. That's where they're at. So to fund that bet, they made cuts. If they got to make bets on that side, they got to find the money. That's what some money manager told them. Hey, you need to find this money, and that's where they decided to do it at. So these layoffs are estimated to free up $8 to $10 billion in annual cash flow. Okay, the company also set aside $2.1 billion for restructuring, which most of that is going directly to severance pay. Y'all, these are some crazy numbers, okay? Crazy numbers. So just wanted to be clear about what's happening. It wasn't performance based, y'all, like as far as the reduction. it wasn't the company in decline and we got to do something real quick or else we're not going to make payroll. It was a strategic shift. That's literally what it was, and people were cut so the company could invest in machines. So you know I don't know where it's going as far as is AI replacing workers on their team, and on that side, Oracle didn't lay off the employees because AI can already do their jobs. That's not why they did this. They just need the capital so that they can build the infrastructure that will power the AI in the future. So it's really about priorities, is what I'm seeing here. But here for y'all though, for those of you watching who work in tech, the real takeaway is what I want to bring out. And you can hate me or love me, I don't know, but it is what it is. Full, complete loyalty to a company is not always reciprocated. I'm just, you slave, you doing your thing, and it's nothing wrong with that. You got to do it to the highest of your capacity, but it just they'll do stuff like this: 6 a.m. Eastern time, email only, and then you're gone. So, anyways, you know, that's what the AI transition right now, at least for Oracle, is looking like. It's not robots replacing people overnight, but companies like them are choosing to quietly choose machines, over payroll, and they getting it done. So that's where we're at, y'all.
Yeah, man. Before I say anything, I'm gonna go to the comment section. I'm gonna go first all the way up to far away from here, 8340. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming back to
Good
the
morning.
show.
Good morning.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing and coming back to the show. And I did get another one here. I got Nitstud that said, "Is this real?" And I'm not gonna lie, because I know there's so many layoffs going off already in the past couple of years. Big ones from tech companies that I
Oh
had to
yeah.
go take. I had to make sure, like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this the one that I've seen before? And it was, oh, this is a brand new one. And this one was cold as ice. But yeah, so absolutely, like this was one. And then Tech Coach Ralph says, "I'm a mercenary." Well, you gotta elaborate what that means, because some people be
Um,
like, "Wait, you want us to lose our jobs?"
a mercenary.
Yeah, or the first thing I have is thinking about the situation is,
I know what he means.
oh man, these companies ain't loyal.
Hey, he probably means look, I work
Me, myself,
for
and I Inc.
money. Yeah.
Or for Me Inc. And but
Yeah.
that leads us to the biggest thing here, and I want to just emphasize for those who are new to the show, this is a call-in show. You can just click the link there. You do not have to show your face. We'll pull you on the screen, and you can just talk and share. We wanted to get people that definitely they definitely have either experienced this situation. You can talk about your own situation being laid off, whatever the case may be. If did you ever experience something like this that's cold as ice like that? We got she says bingo at Trey. What
Yeah,
Trey
man.
said.
I'm here for the money.
That
I'm
is
only
true.
I'm serving for the wages, the money. That's it.
That is true. But my question to that is, if you feel like, hey, I'm in a place where, I've been here for, and I'm gonna get to that too, because that's a part of our a brown box special. So if you guys stick around to the end, I'm gonna actually share with you some folks that were at Oracle that actually
What they were
spoke
talking
out.
about.
Yeah, they spoke out about what happened. So I'm definitely gonna be able to share that with you, because I'll be able to grab some stories from Reddit. But my question to that Tech Coach Ralph is like, in regards to not about being loyal, but like if you feel like, hey, you had something that's a little bit more secure, because we talked about that here. We believe more in career security than job security. Been at a company for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever. Um,
Mm.
you might even have other investments, other things working for you, but this is a big part of your check. That Do you just be like, no, it's okay to let me go like that, or do you feel a way? I think a lot of people are feeling a certain way about it, because it's like, listen, it's not like I came yesterday. I've been here rocking and rolling with you guys for 30 years, and all you give me is an email and sayonara.
That
Like,
was the problem. See, that
yeah,
I think that's where people like maybe it doesn't hit maybe until it happens to you, but
Mm,
the thing is like you can't not expect like you can't think that it's not gonna ever happen to you
yeah.
if you're not there long enough. At some point, it's possible. So even if it never happens to you in your career, right? Like, I went through my whole career, never got laid off. I was always, the one who was scot free, or I didn't get the email. People coming to my desk like, "Yo, did you get the news?" No, man, I'm working. And then you see it, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't get that. Sorry." Some
Mm,
people, yes, that's them. But
yeah.
what I'm saying is you can't go through in the career like it is not gonna happen to you, because that's when you start getting those feelings. If you understand, hey, it's a possibility, and I'm this is quid pro quo, right?
Yeah.
I want this check, you want my work at any point in time, is what is it, at will, or I don't know, whatever it's
Yeah.
called,
Yeah. I
at
will.
any point in time, it's at will. Hey, it's a possibility. Well, now those feelings are out of there, and this is a business relationship that we have. But when you think that it's never going to happen to you, and then it does, yeah, that's when your heart gets cracked, and you sitting there for days or weeks, like, man, how in the world did this happen to me?
Mm,
Why did they do this kind of stuff? They didn't even give me my Rolex on the way out. I was there for 20
hmm.
years.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, I was supposed to get the engraved Rolex, man.
Hmm. Mm,
And they gave you a sheet of paper. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. But I hear you, Joseph. But it's one of those things. Like, if you feel like it's never gonna happen to you, you might be setting yourself up for failure. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Disappointment. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Technical driver.
disappointment. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're absolutely right though. Tech Coach Ralph, he actually says you'll have managers. Listen, if you experience this, go ahead and call into the chat. And Tech Coach Ralph, you might have to call in too. He said you'll have managers you used to rock with who would turn on you for whatever reason and try to push you out. If you have
Man,
experienced
look,
that, put in the chat
I
or
was just
call into the
talking with
show.
a I was just talking with a guy last week. Last week that this happened to him.
Mm,
A newer manager for him. He's upper management, but then there's SVPs and stuff above him that he reports to,
yeah.
and they tried to give him a PIP. Well, y'all,
Hmm.
he refused to sign the PIP because he was doing everything that he was supposed to do. He's in
Mm,
quality and safety. He's brought them down from 23 points over the
wow.
year. They went
Wow.
from, as far as OSHA standards, they went from good to, like, I can't remember the term now, but it's like, hey,
Really good.
mastery level. Like, yeah, like, hey,
Wow.
mastery level.
Mm,
Uh, they got him working, going to two different places for a year. He was working two different jobs till they filled the role. It was like a year and a half, and they
hmm.
still tried to give him a PIP, and he refused to sign it. And they ended up, but here's the thing: it comes to what Tech Coach Ralph is saying. The manager that you got emails from 2 months earlier, 3 months earlier in January. Great job, team. No incidents, right? Because he's safety and quality.
Yeah.
No incidents. Everything's looking good. All the numbers are down. 2 months later, nothing's changed, by the way.
Mm-mm. Yep.
Hey, we need you to sign this PIP. So it's like, what happened? And so, yeah, either way, just to that was last week. I talked to him, a couple days ago. He's like, "Yeah, they kind of changed the tune on that
Yeah.
because he had the facts, he had the emails, he had the stats and everything to back it up, right?" And so
He had a
it's just
case.
one of those things, man. Yeah, literally. And
Mhm.
by the way, he still said he's going to HR today, just to make sure they know, and he's still
Mm.
going to the president, right? Uh,
Yeah, be careful
just to
with that.
remind them of what they said, as far as, here's the stuff. But either way, it's one of those things where, here today, gone tomorrow, as far as in their mind, and in the manager's mind, like, yo,
Yeah.
you're expendable, possibly.
Yeah, no. I wanna go through, the what
Oh, trust me, Ralph. he already the resume is
The writing is on the wall, and so is his
the
resume.
resume is out there. Let's put it like that.
Well, listen, no, and then I'm gonna go to a couple of things. I want to go back to the first comment that Tech Coach Ralph went through because we're gonna talk about it at the end here. But I'm gonna go to other ones right now. He says, when the coal mines and factories closed down and people were desolate, that was the first warning shot. The only thing constant is change. If people's
That's a fact.
spouses will leave them, but they think
Dude.
their job will be loyal, they got nothing
And they
coming.
live with you. And they live with you.
And they live with you. They see, hear, and know all of that. Oh, I got far away from here. I'm gonna go to him as well. Teco Rauch also said that he should have signed the PIP. It gives you 3 months. It really depends on the job. Because I know somebody who got a PIP, and he's got like 1 month to like.
Snap! 1
Somebody got
month.
1 month. Yeah, somebody got 1 month.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was like 3, but that's wild.
It
They
really
didn't give him a
depends on the
quarter.
situation.
They didn't give him a quarter.
The warning
Shoot.
was the 2 months. It was in the 2 months. The PIP is like, listen, you gotta. All right, yeah, a month. They're gonna come after him again. Why would you want to be somewhere that doesn't want you?
Yeah, he definitely don't. Yeah, he definitely doesn't. And he look. Let me tell you, he called me. Hey, get all the emails. Hey, forward them to your personal email. And we went through it for it was like an hour. I was like,
wow.
Who else you done talk to? Yeah, type their name in, pull up that email, send it to yourself, all that kind of stuff. Because once they like we mentioned earlier, once Oracle sent the email out, man, you can't log into nothing. You don't know, you don't got your stuff, and that's how they get you, right? Now you going off memory, and they got everything behind the wall.
Yeah.
So like, no, we ain't gonna play that game. I got all of it. I got everything. I got my merit increases. How am I doing so bad? I get merit increase every year, tied to a bonus, and then all of a sudden it's not. No.
It mean nothing. Wow.
But that's sometimes it happens like that. So it's the backdoor way to get you out of there. I make you sign this PIP. Well, guess what? You just agreed to everything that's on there.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not.
Yep. And then go far away from here. It says it's every man for himself in these work streets. You have to make professional connections now. You should be interviewing at least twice per year, no matter what your position is.
I love it, man. I love that. That's the facts.
Yeah,
boy.
You never know, right?
Plus, you know what's out there in the market as well.
Yeah.
Like what the streets is talking about.
Yeah. And that's exactly that leans into the next thing. Oh, let me go to the next thing he said. Also, you should journal daily while on the job. Stay ready because HR is hostile.
Man, and even if it's not like journaling, like, word for word on what's happening, I call it a brag book. And yes, you definitely want to have that because they'll try and get you on the other side. You've been doing all this stuff all year, and then they hit you with the, hey, you're not going to get the raise or you're not going to get the bonus. And you're like, wait a minute, I've been hitting everything. That's when you go back to your brag book. Yep, I did this on this date. This is what it brought in. The numbers that I got the certificate for bringing down the numbers 25%, or I'm 95 plus, whatever. Get that brag book and write that stuff in there when it happens, because your mind, man, you'll forget. And then you're scrambling, when you're trying to get the money on, you're scrambling trying to think, man, what did I do? Nah, I got it all written down in the brag book. So yeah, I agree though.
Yep, absolutely. And like Tech Coach Rob says, it's business. Don't box yourself in. I wanted to go back to this one right here, because I mean, we knew this for a while ago. Back in the day, and I have to say back in the day, like it was the 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
The internet age there's a lot of shit that happened. But before that, people being at their job for 20, 30 years or so, that was like the model, especially when they had get your pension, right? That's what everybody was saying, get your pension. But nowadays, you ain't getting a chance to unless you're working at like a government agency. And even then, they got laid off with everything going on with Doge and stuff like that. So nothing is secure anymore. It's just all about going back to the statement right here, it's a business. Don't box yourself in. The question I have is, okay, how people need to, how do we turn what we know, what we learned over the year into a business, so that way we can leverage that for later on, or what businesses need to look into, or what might be the next topic that we're going to cover in a few is what other opportunities are out there. But before I do that,
Mm-mm. But
yeah,
yeah,
want to hear your thoughts. Yeah,
yeah. No, I mean that's one of the easiest ways for sure is go start consulting. You know, in the space that you know well. Like
yeah.
it's one of the easiest ways. Hey, this is what I do on the side outside of work. I consult in the same space
Mm,
for other
mm-mm.
companies. I mean, they're always looking for it as well. Whether it's 1099 or whatever. But yeah, that's one way to start. The other way is to showcase or share your knowledge on, maybe YouTube or on the web for others to learn. And then you never know who's watching. People from around the world. You get hit up from Germany. Hey, we need your skills because we're trying to break into the US market. We're willing to pay you, maybe somebody from the UK. Hey, we're trying to get into the US market. We understand your skills. We want to pay you $300,000.
Mm,
Whatever. I'm just telling you
mm-mm.
what I've heard personally.
Yeah, there's opportunities still out there for sure.
Yeah. Someone I know personally.
Yeah, it is out there. Tech Coach Ralph says, LOL company used AI and Slack to help with performance reviews this year. I was like,
Wow.
I didn't realize I did all this work in the last 6 months.
Oh wow. Yes. That's what's up. You see, like but see, that sounds like a company that says, hey, we want to make sure you get what you owe.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're thinking about it, right? I mean, if you
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
all the
Right there.
communication in Slack,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
it gives you an idea, which also reminds you, y'all, be careful what you talk about in Slack. But it gives you, it gives
Should
you,
already know that.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, from the get go. But it gives you the opportunity to really kind of go ahead and like comb through every communication that you had with
Yeah.
internally, and then paste this picture of like, okay, take Coach Ralph. He's really been doing a lot of things. He's been doing this on February. He did this in March. So that's actually a really interesting concept there that they did. It allows to do that. Most of the times, like Trey said, you got to get your brag book. You got to go search and find the information yourself. But
Yeah.
that's pretty
Also have
comprehensive.
a ridiculous paper trail, emails, uh BCCing people, all of that as well.
And then Takeover Ralph also said the money you make now, that is though it's double what a pension used to be. Like the times have changed for
Dang.
sure. The money you make now is double what a
Mm.
pension used to be. Um he said people don't want to work. And DJ says, get a
Yeah.
job. DG is get a job. And I said, a great idea, Trey, but
Yeah.
that'll get in the way of playing video games on the TV and watching reality TV on the iPad Pro.
That's a fact for most. That's a
Well,
fact.
I mean, well, there's a combination of different things, right? There's a shift. The shift is happening to a lot of different industries and a lot of different places. And right now, the shift is either gonna ride the wave or you get washed by it. And that's what I think what we're seeing right now in a lot of different arenas is either people are riding the waves or they're getting washed over by them. And we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But before I do, y'all, just a reminder: this is a call-in show. You don't have to show your face, but if you want to call in to share about any of the topics that we're talking about today, we're pretty much sticking to that theme, talking about the Oracle layoffs, but we're definitely going to be moving on and talking about other variations of this story and other angles that we can look at. But yeah, definitely let us know. Real quickly, we do have one sponsor, the Tech Wire, that we want to bring up here. This segment is brought to you by the Secure the Badge, your ultimate guide for upcoming tech events. Explore more at securethebadge.com. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep, but if you go to securethebadge.com after the show, again, that's securethebadge.com after the show, You can see there's a bunch of different events here: Team Summit, Tampa Bay Tech Week, ByteCon, all these different events. And if you join their community, you'll be able to see the actual tickets to these events. They had South by Southwest tickets out. They had other tickets that you could get access to when you join the community. So definitely look into it for yourself. See what is up there for you, what you'd like, and go ahead to securethebadge.com, where you can get tech events and opportunities, speaking opportunities as well. There's speaking. There's also opportunities to speak at different conferences because they get the insight into that as well. So check it out for yourself at securethebadge.com. So we got to talk about this as well. So we talked about Oracle. We talked about the massive layoffs. I'm going to actually dive into more of those stories from Reddit directly in a few, but wanted to take some time to kind of talk a little bit about what opportunities are out there. That's how we roll here. We don't want to just dwell on the negative. We want to see the glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. And one of those glimmers is the same thing that is causing quote unquote layoffs at Oracle and other places. That is an opportunity right there. AI startups are going cash heavy, and that's your opportunity. Now let's flip the script like I just talked about, because if you're trying to get into tech industry, or you're trying to get back in, I should say, this is the part we want to bring up to your attention. But legacy companies are, cutting. AI startups are spending, and this is not a hyperbole. I know, and not on ping pong tables either, like back in the day, or giant swings for adults. High growth artificial intelligence startups are flush with venture capital, and combine that with a wildly competitive talent market, as we are now seeing as well from these layoffs, you get more cash heavy offers along with increasingly creative incentive structures. Now, how heavy? Software engineers at venture backup startups are receiving a median base. This is a median base salary offers of $200,000 and 25% increase from 2022. So in some cases, newly minted computer science graduates just coming out of college are fielding offers upward of 300,000 annually, according to Fortune. One math competition winner with 9 months of professional experience was offered a $400,000 base for a software engineering role. 9 months. Let me say that again. That's as much time as a woman has a baby. 9
Literally.
months. All right. So the old startup playbook was take a lower salary, bet on equity, and hope that the company IPOs. Right. That's the initial. This kind of goes back to Tech Coach Ralph, what he said about the money that people are making nowadays. That's changed, right? Startups have just traditionally paid minimal salaries up front, offset by equity stakes. Now they're promising mounds of money as monthly income. So companies are also experimenting with the profit sharing as well, performance bonuses, kind of similar to what Tech Coach Ralph was alluding to, and faster equity liquidity through tender offers. So the era of wait 5 years for a payout is going way to cash now, basically. But be real with yourself, and everybody listening. The dizzying starting salaries are largely being granted to candidates who are the cream of the crop with AI skills. So the talent pool is small and the competition is fierce to get into these companies. So if you're transitioning in tech, if you're moving around, the message is clear. Specialize in AI and do it now. ML engineering, applied AI, even AI product management, that's huge. These are the doors that are wide open right now. For deployment engineers, if you see that somewhere on a job description, you want to be in that room. You want to be in those conversations. So I'm going to pause here and go to the comment section, but it kind of ties into our story. I just want to shift the conversation to kind of say, listen, the opportunities are there. You just have to position yourself for it. Yeah. So basically all I have to say is we talked about Oracle, we talked about the situation, and we're still talking about it. What are your thoughts, if any, if you all have it in the in the chat regarding?
Well, don't know what just happened with with Joseph. I mean, he cut out mid sentence, but I guess till he gets back in. Oh, okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah, that was I don't know what happened there. I'm back.
You want to finish your statement? I don't even know where
I
you were
was,
going with.
I was basically saying, like, in regards to have you seen this as well to the audience? I've seen it personally because of the work I'm doing, where there's it's an AI race, right? We're in the year where a lot of companies have already decided who the AI partners are going to be, but they really are not fully solidified. They're really trying to find who they are. They're trying to nail down contracts. Some people try to do it early as last year to nail down their AI partner contracts and who the AI partners are going to be. But there's a lot of other companies, especially the ones that are large companies that are like almost like moving the Titanic to shift to AI, who are trying to understand and figure that out. And they're going through groups like Deloitte and Accenture, and others to kind of help with this process. And so this is the time where a lot of companies are like, listen, wait, before I go on, the operation tech takeover says they said, Joe, give it too much. Game, stop it. Cut it out. Oh man. But before I do anything else, but I'm gonna finish my point and then I'm gonna bring up a guest here. In regards to this situation where AI companies are a place to go to, if you are in the right position within these companies, the bag is definitely there. And with that being said, I'm going to pass on Tech Mercenary Ralph, not even Tech Coach Ralph, Tech Mercenary Ralph, who's joining the show. Appreciate you stopping by,
funny.
Tech Mercenary Ralph.
Yes,
Can
sir.
y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We can hear you.
All right, cool. I'm not on my computer, so I don't know. I'm using Bluetooth headphones, so sorry if it sounds bad. What's going on, yo?
A lot.
Nothing much.
I said
All
a lot.
right.
He said nothing much.
Well,
I had made some videos detailing like a few of these AI roles, like the forward deploy engineer, about I think it was like DevOps for AI and stuff like that. And it's that's the thing, right? When people are crying about losing older jobs, but they're not looking to the newer jobs that are coming out, and how you have to transition, right?
yeah.
Um, I was just thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? I've actually built a lot of AI agents without even realizing that they're AI agents because they're just doing stuff for me. So it's a lot. There's so many different opportunities out there that if you just want things to stay the same, then not these are
They
not the
never
thoughts
do.
you deserve to with your job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a harsh way to put it, but I know what you're saying because it's crazy. Nothing stays the same. Yet we always want it to, or we're thinking that it is. When in reality, nothing stays the same. You gotta change with the change, is my saying. You gotta change with the change, and if you don't, then you're willing. Like when you don't change with the change, you're telling me and everybody else I'm willing to get the consequences that come with that, whatever it is.
Yep.
When you know. No, so but that makes sense
Yeah.
though, bro. Like, you're doing it every day. You're into the know. You're figuring it out, and like you said, you're doing stuff you didn't even realize until you look back. You're like, wait, these are all agents.
Mm,
This is I've been doing this, right?
yeah.
So sometimes that's how it works. That's how it happens.
Yeah. And I think that just as a testimony to the work that you've been doing as well, Tech Mercenary Ralph, when you're literally jumping into things, testing out things ahead of, as they come out or as you find out more about it. And now it's already set yourself up in a way to be like, hey, listen, this is something I'm already doing. Um, while other people are kind of playing catch up or they're like, I don't know. I don't want to really try that out because of X, Y, and Z. No, I think that that's the place to be. And especially with this economy, either get yourself into that place or already like with a company. And let me say that it's not just the technical roles too. I know some salespeople that because they already have themselves embedded in this space and they've proven success, let's just say that their next role is 7 figures. Like we're paying you that before you do anything else because you already proved yourself in this space. So it's not just the technical roles, it's other roles within the industry that people are finding that, like, listen, if you have that background, if you have that wherewithal and that understanding, you will get the bag. you will definitely
Yeah.
get the bag.
Yeah. And it's easy to see, like, risk is going up if you're in like those legacy roles or non-AI roles. The risk is kind of going up. If you are in AI, ML, or infrastructure, demand is going up. So it's like,
Yeah,
can you
by
find
the
yourself
man.
in the middle? Can you find yourself in the middle, or can you, while you're in the legacy roles, try and start dibbling dabbling into the space that's exploding and going up? Like, it's just a few little tweaks, but it could change everything.
Tell OTTO to look at my thumbnail for today's video.
Ah.
But talking about that though, like real quick. So let me ask you guys this question first, right? What is
Yeah.
the most annoying part for you guys in content creation?
It just, man, it depends on the day, but ideally, like I would think just straight off the head, it would be like editing, stuff like
Up
that.
there you
Like when
go.
it's,
You did it right
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
What'd you say, Joseph?
I was gonna say the same thing. Any like administrative work afterwards, a lot of times doing with editing, that's the most annoying thing. I'm like, can I outsource this, please? I'm tired.
So, um, and then like if you push it even further, even worse than like editing to like getting into whatever segment you want, then it's like, oh, now I got to make a short with it. Then I got to get the
Mm,
captions on it. Then I got to get a thumbnail because the shorts, the thumbnails on the shorts is not like uploading a thumbnail to a regular video.
100.
So, so I had stopped making shorts because I was just like I hated the process so much. So
Yeah.
I tackled that this weekend using Gemini CLI. And if you look at the last short that I just released like yesterday, has
Mm-hmm.
all of that is like from when I just render like a 2 to 3 minute clip or like short vertical short, the agent takes care of all the rest of generating the captions, generating the thumbnails, uploading it to YouTube. But then once I get into YouTube, I just have to schedule it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it does it privately, and then you hit go when it's time. Yo, that's crazy. And I'm going to
And
go
my
look. That's wild.
and my editor, like I use DaVinci Resolve. Some people use like Premiere,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I click render. It drops it into a folder, and there's a watcher that's watching it to pick it up, and then it does all the work after that. So I can like edit at night, render, and then by the morning time, I should have all my shorts uploaded into YouTube. And
You can schedule them
and that's
out.
because I hated the process so much. So either I'm not gonna do it or I'm gonna find someone or something to do it for
Yeah.
me.
See, I went the other way, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's crazy. So, you had say, hey, I have the skills to do this. Let me just go ahead and work on it and get it done. I
Yeah.
didn't. So I found someone who did, and they just packaged it well, right? Or whatever.
Hmm.
So, but either way, you're right. Like, hey, where's that pain point? Where's that problem? Can I fix it? If I can, hey, there's something there for sure. No, that's lit.
Yeah. And how long is that process altogether now that you set that up?
How long it takes for it to happen, or how long it took to
Yeah.
build
How
it?
long to build? Now that you built it, well, first of all, both. How long it take you to build it, and then now that you're basically having this run automatically for you, what's the process now in regards to the time that you saved?
So shameless plug. I have a video coming on Wednesday that's like showing how I did. There's gonna be two parts. It's gonna be one on Wednesday, one next Wednesday, but like showing how I got started with it, like my Gemini prompts using Gemini CLI. But I would
Mm-hmm.
say
That's hilarious.
to get the first working video that had like some basic caption on it that didn't look great, about a, about an hour, but a lot of it was waiting for the AI agent to do its thing and
Mm.
then refining on it. So like when I cut it down, it's probably like 40-minute video, cutting out like all the times that I was waiting and stuff. To answer the question about, and then after that, like, and then like making it better, it was like on and off throughout. Like as I said, this would work better this way. So it was probably like maybe a 2 to 3 hour project that it took to do that.
No, that's good.
Also got to get some experience with some different AI platforms like Assembly AI, which is used for transcription, which also led me to changing one of the apps that I'm building to change totally to Assembly AI from AWS. Uh, so then it's also using Nano Banana.
AWS just sounds expensive. I don't even know.
Now I'm using Nano Banana to do the thumbnails. Because by the way,
Yep.
Gemini's they're a lot better with text on images than ChatGPT's DALL-E is. Uh, and then right, so the other question: How long did it take? How long does it take from the whole process? So I did a recording of the process where it's recording from when I press render for 3 short, all the way till when it's uploaded to YouTube, and the video is less than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's lit.
And it's just like I
It's,
press like, so all the editing that I'm doing, that I don't count that time. So like, cutting it to down to and everything. So the recording is like I press the button render, and rendering probably takes like a minute or so to get it, depending on how intense the video is. So it does all of that, and then the watcher picks it up, and it probably takes another 6 minutes to do the 3 shorts, get them up into YouTube. And that's creating the thumbnail, adding the caption, or getting the transcript, putting the captions, and creating the thumbnail, adding the thumbnail to the video.
Yeah, that's lit. It's crazy because I actually on my like content business YouTube page, I do have a video coming out this week talking about using AI to speed up the process of creating content. And this is a part of it, right? Like, how do you go from one to many as far as like one video to multiple different things? And yeah, I mean, he just built his side. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Wednesday is when he said.
Yeah, Wednesday at noon. If you check out my if you were to like just take a look at the thumbnails on my regular thumbnails on my channel, you're gonna see a big shift from how they were about 2 weeks ago to how they are now. It's because I rebuilt in the content creation app I built. I rebuilt how thumbnails are being generated. Now it's like totally different.
So I see it now. I see it now, man.
Nano Banana from the win. Yep.
Click on videos, Joseph. You're gonna see, and you scroll down.
I'll probably let me see if it's popular. The latest. So
yeah,
see the difference. Yeah, there's a shift like right around here, right around this video.
Yep, exactly, right there.
Yeah, and he said Nano Banana. So honestly, that's what I've been using with our thumbnails recently. But yeah, Nano Banana, right? That's what you've been using for this one. You saying?
Yeah, it's like, but it's like it's not directly through like Gemini's site. It's using it's going through the API, so I don't have their watermark on it.
Okay.
Have more over it.
The little corner watermark.
Yeah. I gotta do some magic racing with that thing. But yeah. But no, I definitely see the difference, and it definitely shows. And so yeah, y'all lock in with Wednesday. Tech Coach Ralph is gonna be going live, aka Tech Mercenary Ralph. And you could lock in with him and check out more about what they're doing and how. This is exactly what we're talking about: leveraging the different types of systems that are out there in order for you to basically speed up your work and get things done. So, man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome, man.
Also, to answer that, the other thing you guys are talking about with like the whole Oracle thing, if you receive like that email at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know how people have like a go bag and stuff like that. I have a go prompt. I'm like, all right, and set up Stripe on all these apps and enable them, and then set up the marketing agents to start funneling everything in.
Let's go.
Autobots roll out.
It's go time.
It is go time. Listen, I mean, that's a wise way to do it. That which leads to another question, like what's the backup plan for majority of us? I mean, most of it's applying to another job, like what said earlier by honestly you as well as I'm gonna pull the comment here, but what was actually I can't have access because I got disconnected. But what was said earlier, from far away from here, 8340 is like that interviewing twice a year. Like always stay ready. You never know. Build that relationship, network. That's why we talk about secure the badge every week because the truth of it is not just to go and hang out, but it's about networking and connecting with people. So if that time does come, that you really can just call somebody that you already have built a relationship with, that you're maintaining a relationship with, you're nurturing that relationship. You're not just like, hey, it is what it is. No, you call them, right? Call them and let them know what's going on. So, yeah, yep, that one. Interview at least
There was,
twice per year, no matter what the position is.
there's a small problem in your question. You asked what's the backup plan. A lot of people don't even have a right now plan.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they're just like they wake up and they just on repeat, and they're not planning for, because honestly, I don't even think that you should have a necessarily a backup plan. You should have a like improvement plan to not be stuck in the same place
you
as
mean like
fast.
skills improvement? You mean?
Everything, yeah, skills improvement, but everything improves because it's like as you get better at your skills and as you learn new things, you just become more marketable.
Yep,
So now, I would rather a company want to fight to keep me than I'm begging another company to take me.
yeah, yep. Exactly, exactly.
No, that's a fact. And when you say that most people don't have a plan, man, it reminded me of this quote that this guy Jim Rohn said. He was like,
I was about to say,
if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you're gonna fall into somebody else's. And he said,
Mm.
guess what they got planned for you? Not much. It said not much. And really it boils down to like, if you don't know where you want to go or what you might want that to look like for you, people are just going to put you where they feel like. So you may think, man, I want to be a senior VP one day. But in their mind, if you don't plan that out and really, really focus on how you're going to get there, in their mind, they might just want to have you in customer service for however long they're there. So you
Yep,
got to be able to design your own life and how you want that to look, or else, you're going to fall into somebody else's life plan, which
yep.
means, hey, this is where I got you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to take it. So
Yeah.
you're right, though. You're right.
But if you take it, don't take this brown box with you. And that being said, we're gonna go right into the brown box special. Really appreciate you guys for rocking on this show. If there's anything that you definitely appreciated from us and what we shared, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is a platform for you to share your thoughts and opinions. And this section of the show is about basically if you've been fired, forced to let go, like we've seen already, or quit a job. This is where we share that story. And with the story we have is from Oracle. This is credit to Reddit, by the way. Oracle is going to change it probably for the worse, somebody says. I've been working at Oracle for over 6 years. When people ask me what was the thing I liked the most about it, I always said job security. I skipped several offers from other companies because I wanted job security, and Oracle had a reputation for that. That is why that they probably had some great talent for decades. Now the picture is changing. No job security. This is right before the layoffs were happening. No,
Dang.
no changing. No job security, and probably the other way. In the market, Oracle often pays the least, and generally speaking, they have the worst since they have no pay raises, barely no refreshers, and little to no growth, according to this former employee. In my time, we went from 14 engineers to 9 remaining 14 engineers to 9. From the 9, the remaining 3 of them have no equity nor interest in staying and are now looking for a new opportunity somewhere else. The remaining are staying for pretty only one reason: unvested stock. Before the mass
Yeah.
RIF, yep, that's what we talked about earlier too. Before the mass RIF, we were working at pretty much max capacity. So we're going to be burned down bad and more if any of my colleagues end up finding something better. Lastly, I don't think I would suggest that anybody else come to Oracle anymore. And pretty much that in the feeling around, and pretty much that is the feeling all around. And I can't imagine we'll be able to hire top performers ever again as we did in the past. Now, I wanted to mention that story because right after that, not too long after, a couple of weeks later, we got the layoffs. And so now here's some other stories of people that said, I just got the email at 5 a.m. It must be Central Time. Over 20 years service. Nice, they said. Somebody else says that's brutal. 20 years and an email is all you get. I did 32 years there, but at least I got a video call. I was out the September quarter. It hurts, but I know. But an email, yeah. So they were going in. So you had that 26 cap also for severance, right? So there was a cap for the severance there as well. Has anyone heard of anyone not accepting the DocuSign showing the approximate severance package, thinking of having a legal counsel to review terms just in case there's a chance of small negotiation to take place? Probably not.
Man,
I think the
you better take it.
I think 26-week cap for someone who has been with the company for 26 years is really small. Plus, I'm 55, so it will be more difficult to get a job. Woo! Let me pause there. Any thoughts about? I mean, there's so many comments here. I could go on and on, but any thoughts so
I
far?
mean, maybe not with Oracle on his badge. You know what I mean? You stick Oracle up there, ex Oracle in the LinkedIn profile. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be too bad. You know.
Oh man.
Would you guys take a job at Oracle?
Would I? Yeah, depends on what's going down. Yeah, because for me, it's not even. I'm not gonna say like I'm not looking for a long time. I'm looking for a good time. How about that? Like, you know, if you got plans in the making of letting me go one of these days, that's okay. We're gonna have a good time while I'm here. I promise you that. So I would, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of like, because when you hear about these AWS layoffs, these whatever layoffs, I'm always thinking like, you know how good that looks on your resume that you worked at one of
That's what
these.
I'm saying. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, you have that piece, that side of it, and that's why Oracle, you know, the guy that mentioned, he was like, they don't give out raises, they or whatever he was saying is like, yeah, because it's Oracle. Like, yo, you put our name on your stuff, and you gonna go get that raise after you leave here. So either you're gonna stay and get the perks, or you're gonna leave and get your raise, whatever you're looking for. So I'm with you on that.
And a lot of times too, and they have like a lot of times they're trying to replace older, not older in age, but like older thinking employees who are stagnant in the ways that they operate, the ways that they think. For like, all right, let's get the AI crew in here. Let's get the people who are going to be moving faster, and they're going to be trying new things and failing at new things, but to keep that cycle going. Because if you're not looking to fail, because companies like, a lot against popular belief, but companies don't mind their employees failing at things because failure leads to innovation. Then when you're like, oh, it has to stay the same. Companies do not want to stay the same because their competitors aren't staying the same.
No, that's a fact. I stayed at a company for years, and the whole, basically most of it, I ain't gonna say the whole thing, but most of the job was doing these things that we call pilots. It was literally like different pilots, and that, like, most of them failed, but the ones that did go, they turned into real products or real things and did numbers, made up for all the pilots that didn't do it. So yeah, I mean, but that was most of the job. It was, hey, we're doing this pilot now, you know, or whatever. So yeah.
And back then, pilots were like a lot more expensive than they are now, because now you can just go into a call and you're like, oh, I want to try this thing out, and like I told you, like an hour, I have like, oh, I can build upon this. and I got a full working pipeline that runs automatically in the background.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, I got a story. I got one of these stories for you. This is interesting. This happened same day with the whole being let go. Right. This person says I was purchased by Oracle in '94 when they bought DECRDB. Was laid off in early 2000s after they purchased Civil 3. They purchased Civil. Excuse me. 3 months later, they begged me to come back as they realized Civil wasn't a plug-in replacement for Metalink, that the support tool at the time that I was primarily DBA for. Tons of reorganization later, I found myself in federal OMCS supporting federal OCI customers. Felt safe here since I couldn't be replaced by non-US hires. This morning, we're talking about the day of, I get an email that looks more like spam since the images in it don't even load, that my job is eliminated. Had a call, text my manager to see if this was even real. Someone asked him, was it real? And he said, yes. The same email that everyone else is getting, sent at 6 a.m. Eastern, so it's 4 a.m. for me in Colorado. Nice way of waking up in the morning, but just looked very spammy since images links were broken. But that's because my access already was revoked to most everything. Cold-blooded. But as we said, this is unfortunately the game right now with this situation. Yeah, man. Well, like I think we mentioned it earlier too, and was mentioned, is that there's a lot of probably top talent in Oracle, probably some people even on the AI side of the boat that may have been let out, that other companies would be like, let's talk, you know? So I believe they'll land on their feet for sure. But yeah. Tough one, y'all. Well, listen, y'all, that is pretty much the show for today. We definitely want to thank you guys for rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech, and having Tech Mercenary Ralph in the building to share his skill set and all everything he got going on. Remember, Wednesday he's going live, so go ahead and check in with Tech. Well, I won't say Mercenary now, but Tech Coach Ralph. Go to youtube.com/@techcoachralph.com or @techcoachralph. To be able to subscribe, watch that, check it out for yourself. Again, y'all, we appreciate you for rocking on this episode of Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Peace and elbow grease.